All right, hello. And we are here with more Lorwyn Standard. This is the first place deck from the North American Regional Championship. We have a blue-green Badgermole Cub deck, except for we are splashing all sorts of things. I think in 2-year Standard, you wouldn't have these sets that have these random, like, City of Brass lands. So the nature of having Gene Pollinator and these lands means you can play a lot of colors. We've already seen this. I posted a video with a Teamer deck that was splashing black. So I appreciate this. I think this is a really well-built deck. And for all the criticisms I do have of 3-year Standard, I appreciate what this person was able to do with the card pool. I think it makes a lot of sense that they won. But let's quickly get into the deck. So the first thing, I guess, we don't have to talk about Quantum Riddler. This card's obviously just busted in half. If you make mana, you empty your hand, you play it, you draw cards. Repeat. It's just like impossible to outgrind, and you just want to be emptying your hand. So mana creatures make the most sense for that. The next thing we can talk about is these tutors. You have a lot of access to one-ofs now, which I think some of the ingenuity comes into play. So we're splashing red. Even ignoring the lands, we already have 8 sources from Pollinator and Leyline Weaver. So even without these lands, that's 8 right there. You could maybe argue you could just play a one-of. But we have 16 total with these lands. And yeah, this is something that you can get, blow up your opponent's Badgermole Cubs, and then just start Mockingbird, cleaning up your board. So it's an impressive card. I didn't really think about it in the context of these Badgermole Cub decks, but I do think it makes a lot of sense. This card I've been putting in a lot of decks. So yeah, I think that's a really cool innovation. Makes a lot of sense. And then the other thing we have is this Gearhulk that can get a Seam Rip and Resolve to kill our opponent's Badgermole Cubs. So the blue-green decks don't have all too many things that they can do to mess with opposing Badgermole Cubs. This deck is very good at interacting with your opponents. And I think that's going to be important moving forward. There's a Pro Tour happening in a few days. So we'll see what the rest of innovation looks like, but I wouldn't be surprised to see more 4-color decks like this in the future. Of course, there's a Craterhoof. Marang is another tutor target to bounce your opponent's Ouroboroids, reset the board. Also, you can just draw cards with it. Excuse me. We got all the mana dorks plus Badgermole Cub. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened to this card. But I don't know. It's pretty new. It's clearly, I think it's pretty clearly the strongest card in Standard, but there's a lot of very strong cards. Beyond that, I don't have too much to say. I do think this deck is just impressively built. I think it makes a lot of sense if the player who won the tournament did. Side deck, Seam Rip, more resolves for Cubs, voice for counters. Clarion Conqueror can, if you have an established board, you can tutor to this and then just turn off your own things, but also your opponent can't really catch up if you're ahead. So you can shut down certain things like your opponent's mana creatures. Reclamation Sage, of course, makes sense as a sideboard card. Soul-Eyed Lantern, Detect Intrusion. Glenalindra is nice against things like Control. Ouroboroid, not in the main deck notably, but it is in the side deck for if you just want a more mid-rangey beatdown plan. Wistfulness is a nice grindy card and a disenchant, and then an extra land for the matchups where your opponents are like shocking all your mana creatures, and you need a higher mana count to be able to do the stuff you want in Quantum Riddler and whatnot. So yeah, very impressive deck list. If you guys want the list, it will be in the description, and I will see you all in the games. All right, opponent goes first. I don't have any link. Okay. Probably Reanimator. I wouldn't hate an elf. Or a ramp deck. Anything that is not a land is a decent draw here. Land is sort of catastrophic. I think I mean, this sucks. We're on a multi-4. Correct hard. I don't have much to say. I'm just gonna play through the game, and that's it. Play the wrong land. I don't know. I was trying to figure out if I wanted a Riddler or not. I can't Mockingbird anything. Probably my best draw. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not much to say here. We got Cubs, though. Wouldn't be surprised if they just wrathed my board. Seems like the type of deck that would probably have Wrath in it. I wonder if they're even blue, or if they're just playing extra Surveil lands. Got one Cub down. Riddler is really just a disgusting card. It's so insane. I mean, maybe I've talked about this before, but I found it. I think the biggest realization for me as to how broken this card was is when I tried playing it with Up the Beanstalk, a card that is banned in Standard, in Pioneer, and I realized that I didn't want to play Up the Beanstalk because I was wasting mana on Up the Beanstalk, and this card would have drawn as many or more cards without it, which is insane to think about. But that was a good draw. Order. I guess this taps here. Yeah, I'll talk about the B word. Leave a comment if you don't want me to ever talk about bans, because I think it makes people really uncomfortable because they're like, oh no, what if I lose $80 worth of Magic cards that I own? But I think the most bannable cards in Standard are Cub and Riddler. I think Standard has a lot of problems regardless of those cards. For my money, but these cards, they're just so disgusting and powerful. And the counterplay to them doesn't really exist. You can't, like, the best thing you can do is like shock a Cub. Cub gets to make mana in most contexts the turn that you play it anyway. So even if you shock it, you end up like even or behind on mana, and then it makes the body as well, which is obviously relevant. So Deceit. Okay. I'm also just yapping. I'm just rambling because there's not really much to say. My plays are very straightforward. All I've done is draw Badgermole Cubs. No interesting decisions here. Okay, I'm gonna prepare to kill my Steam River. You're just dead on board. 6. Making 8. Yeah. 2, I think. Spot removal. Yeah, that's funny. More lands. The fact that I get to draw 2 on my draw steps is just nonsensical to me. Like, I cannot believe it works this way. Alright, hold a 4. And I did nothing to show off anything cool about this deck. All I did was play a blue-green deck, but that is... I think that's the point, right? You're kind of just playing a broken deck with some other fancy stuff to be good against the mirror. Okay, so this is... What is this? This is Ice Till... I guess it's not Reanimator, but it has the scam stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on. Do I want Soul Guide Lantern? I think they're scamming. Maybe it's fine. Stop the evoke. Yeah, I don't really want a sideboard. I think Detect Intrusion and Soul Guide Lantern are the only considerations. I'm trying to think what's going to help me against getting scammed. I guess both of these will. I really don't know. I'm just going to try. This isn't great against Ice Hill. Trying to think of how many different things this will even catch. Like, Resolve doesn't look that important to me. Neither does Seam Rip. Yeah, this can counter the flashback card. I don't want to overdo it. I could take out Prodigy, maybe? How many times do I want to deal 4? It's hard to deal 4 without Seam Rip anyway. Do this. Let's try all the interaction. I still am not 100% sure what my opponent's doing. He's like, my brain goes to landfall, but clearly it's not landfall. I think it's just Ice Hill mid-range, where instead of having all the mana creatures that die to shock, they just have removal spells. I'm keeping. Even though clearly mulling to 4 is the superior play. Yeah, sideboarding incorrectly with this deck. I mean, I'm recording a YouTube video, so playing random arena games, it doesn't matter. But you know, this doesn't seem like the type of deck that you can just take to a tournament, and you probably need to know what you're doing, is what I'm trying to say. Because, like, let's say in this matchup I just sideboard out a random one of that's really important, and I don't understand how important it is. Like, that can be a huge difference maker. Alright, I lose my 2-drop. I draw this. Well, this looks like it could be a Marang for draw. Also could just Speaker and get a Cub. Card. I can say white here for Gearhulk. I think I'm gonna get a Cub. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't have to try to convince people about this card anymore. It just seems very clear. What more can I say? Recorded 1,000 videos of it. I've talked about it since the start. It's just like disgusting. Kind of tired of playing with it. I'm tired of playing. I'm honestly, probably not what you're supposed to say when you're posting Magic videos, but I'm just tired of Magic. There's not a singular format that I really enjoy anymore. Standard and Pioneer were kind of my go-tos, but like Pioneer just broken. Like Steel Cutter shit is miserable. I mean, even Badgermole Cub I also think is one of the strongest cards ever printed into Pioneer. I think it's easily the strongest 2-mana card in Pioneer, or strongest 2-mana creature in Pioneer. Okay, so how much blue do I need? I probably just keep the extra mana, play for the Cub. No. Alright, your turn. So my opponent doesn't do anything too crazy. We'll probably get to a point where we can find a way to Craterhoof them. If they sweep our board, it's bad. We get a land back here. And hopefully they're losing the 3-3 in addition to sweeping our board. Can they kill me with this thing? Not that worried about it. I can also block with the Riddler. 7-7. I could try to trade for it. 4 or 5. No. You're attacking, right? Like, what else are you doing? I don't obviously don't know what their hand is, but 7 is 9, and then I deal 1 to myself to cast this. 8. Okay. That's a good draw. Can't discard anything just yet. Let's go blue. This is 6, 7, 8. Crazy off that. I'm just getting a hoof. I got the seam rip. I didn't really expect greater. Seam, like, Gearhulk seam rip would be decent here. Get another Riddler. I just want to get the hoof, play the land. There you go. I don't have the mana right. It's 4 plus 1. Got the wrong one. Okay, whatever. Well, you gotta sweep my board or you die. Probably was the best thing to do there, but does this check enough? I don't think so. I mean, they can kill the cub. Simply have 9 mana. Counterspell? No? Okay. Alright, well, GG's. Alright, opponent goes first. We've got stuff. This hand's not great, but it is good. One thing I will say that's kind of funny is, like, when I hit Mythic, if I don't play for a while and I'm whatever percentile, and then I play, like, a deck from a tournament, I almost feel bad. Like, it almost feels like you would think it'd be the opposite, where, like, Mythic is, like, sweatier and people try harder. It kind of seems the opposite. I almost feel like a villain when I play, like, Badgermole Cub in Mythic. Similar to how you would feel if you were playing this in, like, Bronze. Which is weird, but I think that is one of the appeals of Arena, is how casual it is. Which does appeal to me, even. I like that I can just play, like, some shitty brew. I don't have to worry about people that are trying to take my money and tournament entry or whatever, however you want to call it, take my lunch money. Alright, sweet. So opponent's doing some black-white stuff. I don't really know why there's a Fabled Passage, but that's cool. Warping. Warping as intended. I get to draw a card too. It's a nice little curve. Does this work with lands? No, right? Maybe there's 3 colors. I don't really know why you have Fabled Passage in your deck, though. Rhythm. Can't get a cub yet. Let's go ahead. What am I even doing here? Cub? Always get cub. Always and forever. Here you go. Maybe that's not worth trading 1 for 1. I can double block 2 if I don't attack. That was stupid. Whatever. I don't think it's gonna have a huge impact on the game. Yeah, nah, it was pretty bad, right? Giving that, yeah, it was. Maybe they're thinking, do I want to just play the 3/3, gain the life, draw the card? Or do I want to interact with the board and make it so when the cub comes down, it's less bad for me? Carrot cake. Getting trajectoried again? In the tank. They're committed to whatever line is, make sure. Okay. Get me for 3. And rhythm for Cub. Elf. And just have Riddler. I don't really care about any of the things my opponent's doing, so I should probably maximize my turn. I think rhythm for Cub. I can maybe even just play for Craterhoof, makes sense. Alright, so this first. Did I mess up? Is Weaver ever better? No, right? Always Cub, every time, all the time. Now we have 6, 7, 8, 12, 14 mana. Get hoofed and die. Alright. I don't even... Oh, tap all the lands. Okay. Yeah, Badgermole Cub, everybody. Alright, so my opponent's playing black-white tokens. Got some cutesy artifact, sack my stuff things going on. I'm not sure if Conqueror's actually going to end up being good here, just because I think they can probably remove it most of the time. But maybe we should try it. Reclamation Sage, probably okay, probably worth having access to. Version also maybe decent. Just don't know what all's going to be in their deck. Voice of Victory, Halia, bunch of artifacts. I think we want to keep the Gearhulk Seamer package. Prodigy's probably good enough. They showed some X3s. You can pick those off. I'm going to make this swap. Don't think I need to over sideboard. Take out the Regent, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I don't I don't know. This deck is cool, but I feel like we haven't really done anything interesting. We've just played Badgermole Cub and Quantum Riddler and Craterhoof. Yeah, so it goes. Such is life. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that they should take action on standard, which is depressing. I don't think it's ideal, but I also don't. I don't think they have the capacity to balance the game adequately at this point. Which I did see they were going to, or I think Cedric posted about hiring a new person for the play design team, so maybe that's them admitting that they need more people if they're going to have more sets. Which I agree. That's probably the case. Alright, I have 100 mana. You can go. Should be getting... What sweeps the board here? There's a lot of -2/-2 effects. I wouldn't be surprised if they could clean this up. Question is, do they have those effects in their deck? Cub down. That stops a lot of the pressure. Rest in Peace does not seem like a great card against me, but there it is. Go white. This. Do I want to team wreck this? I took out the suit. Or what? Oh, it's in my hand. Okay, stop laughing at me. Nobody look at me. Let's go Mockingbird. Llanowar Elf. Pass Llanowar Elf. Pass. So, maybe Mockingbird. I could actually. Maybe Mockingbird wasn't worth getting. If I got like Day of Judgment here, I couldn't. Oh no, this comes back, right? Yeah, so I can just switch this to blue when it dies. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. That's green. Nothing. Okay. So if I Speaker, I get Cub. Cub gets to 4. I could Rhythm for Cub. Rest in Peace, though. I could just Mockingbird for value and then Speaker. Speaker for Riddler? Maybe that's what I want. We'll just ignore the Mockingbird. I feel like they probably have to sweep my board next turn to have a chance. Question is, do I want to... Yeah, I should have Rhythm first. Yeah, okay, that's a mistake. Okay, so now do I want to... Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Clicking buttons. My cards are so good it doesn't matter what I do. Probably messed up playing first as well. If they don't sweep me, we'll just buff them, and then we'll lose. Even if they do sweep me, we get passage back on blue, and then I need a blue source for Riddler. That is something that can happen later. Yeah, I don't think I played this particularly well, but... There's the sweeper. But didn't clear everything. I got this 2/4, which is relevant. I guess this does filter me blue, doesn't it? How do I even make sure it's using the right? Figured it out. Okay, I just believe in it. You just gotta trust your deck. I think I can just play this, like, play this out without the extra card. It's just big. Big, my opponent's a 15. I could have Mockingbirded for Badgermole Cub. Also pretty reasonable here. this is just stupid, right? Like, why is this allowed? Like, genuinely, why are we doing this? This, I don't like it. Lethal? Maybe I had lethal. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll just draw 100 cards for some strange reason. This is... I can get a 5 here. Whatever. I don't have a 5 worth getting, I don't think, but... I'm gonna get something. Or extra less, right? So I can get a value get here. We'll just get this, honestly, and then maybe just get a Riddler. They're dead anyway. Alright. You gotta sweep me. If you sweep me, I have Riddler and stuff. I just rebuild again. You don't sweep me. Oh. Game, so matter. I also still, if they don't sweep me and I somehow can't kill them, I also get to draw a million cards. So probably did Judgment here. Board's gone. Back on blue. Yeah, I mean, not my magic. I don't know. Like, whatever. Ignore me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Mostly just joking, but it is kind of frustrating to me. Not much to say. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.